Nice. We,
Hold on, I'm
Okay.
gonna record. We have a recording at least.
got it.
Yeah, okay.
That's cool. So we all got cats. That's
Yes,
always
it seems so.
Say hello, Max.
Ah! We're gonna do a talk show. Hold on a second.
Okay, well, I'll get mine as well.
Okay,
Let's see.
you can go now.
Yeah.
There you go.
Here you
You
go.
got a harness.
Yeah, and another one.
Another one. That's funny. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You're big, fat, and annoying. There we go.
Well, not nice meeting you, Louis. Is it
Nice
Louis
meeting you
or
as well.
Louis or?
Thank you. Thank you for asking. Yes, it's Louis.
Yeah, he
So,
broke up.
sorry.
Uh-oh, freeze up. I'm gonna kill my video. Well, my network connection is terrible. So
Okay.
I
if I
see.
kill the
Okay.
video, I'm okay.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a cat, so it's okay.
Yeah. So we wait. So we wait for Joshua, or shall we just start? What should we do? Oh, he missed. Crap, I missed the time zone. He will not be able. He said so.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Okay, that's it then. That's a pity, but we have a recording now, so he can at least see what we've done or talked about.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Do we have like an agenda or?
No, not yet. It's quite open, but the most important is that that Jelle and Louis start to communicate about what needs to be done and where Louis is stuck, more or less. Louis, I think, is the most far ahead of all of us with integrating the software. I have maybe a bigger overview of what has been done in the history and what needs to be done, but. Most important, Jelle has all the details of the cast. So
Yes.
he
so,
is the source of all the information. So
okay.
Go ahead.
Would you like me to start and just sort of give an idea of what I've been trying to do? So what I did is I actually created the fork of the BGeigy cast into my own Louis Bertrand, and I think you've seen it, and I believe I've given you access, if memory serves. What I was trying to do is I looking at the architecture, and it's wonderful because I think the existing BGeigy Zen would kind of it's kind of right on the edge of what's possible with the Arduino setup and loop architecture. The cooperative multitasking and all that stuff. But the way that BGeigy cast is set up is the reporters, the workers, are fairly independent of each other. And I noticed that the LED is fairly independent of the button. And in my way of thinking, and I don't know if I am hallucinating or onto something, the LED could be replaced by the TFT. It's an output device that happens to be a lot more complicated, a lot more detailed, but it has a life of its own, like the LED flashing at different colors or different intervals had a life of its own. And then the button, well, it could be just more buttons, just reporting that they're pressed or not.
Exactly. Yeah, that is how it's set up. Yeah.
Yeah. So where I'm at right now is I replaced all the hardware specific and BGeigy Nano specific stuff, right? So for instance, the BGeigy Nano connector, right, is now a data collector. It doesn't collect any data at the moment, but at least it doesn't crash. And that was the problem, because there's all sorts of references to BGeigy Nano connector that I hadn't finished hunting down. And of course, as soon as I enabled that backtrace decoder, it became really fast, just to find all those places where it was being asked to to report its work, even though it didn't exist. So once that was done, I was able to go back, and I have a very primitive, very simple-minded TFT driver. It's called display. And in the Big ID cast architecture, there's actually two components. That one is the I think it's can't remember the name of it. One is RGB LED, which is the actual hardware device, and then there was another one. I don't see.
Yeah, it's the RBG LED. That's indeed the hardware device. So that has like some functions for the LED, and then
Yes.
there's the mode LED,
Mode
which
LED.
extends. It's a class that extends from the RBG LED, and it has its own implementations for some functions. I don't know. I tried to make it like object oriented. It might be a bit.
Yeah.
I don't know if
So
you're familiar with that. But...
Yeah. What I was trying to do is, I see what you're doing. Is one is the functionality, the other one is the actual hardware to make it happen. And
Yeah, it could have been one class to be honest, but I
I,
tried to make it a bit more reusable, or maybe
yeah,
well,
absolutely.
yeah,
And
I don't know. Maybe I made it too complex.
No,
It is a bit.
it's actually not too complex.
no, it's very
Also,
reusable. It looks like.
Yeah, but it's kind of useless if there's only one LED, and then you make like two classes and they extend, and still only
but
one
now,
use.
Still.
but I was able to. Don't save. Okay, hang on. Let me just bring up the Big Idea Key workspace.
Because the problem that Robin was having with the buttons, he couldn't get the buttons correctly implemented. And if
Right.
you make the code, that's easy to implement now.
Yeah.
That makes
So
Yeah, that was the idea. I had this idea with Robin when I was in Japan, and we had like a session with Robin and me, and we had this idea of making this kind of library where we can make all these things modular, and there was like a sensor which takes data in, or like reads something and it has data, and then there's something that processes the data, and then there's something on top which looks at everything and says, oh, this is what's happening, and that's basically like an LED or like a screen, like TFT screen, or in case of the.
Well, in fact, that actually works out very well because now
Yes.
I have a class called display, and then another class called is it LCD or hang on. There's haven't looked at it. Oh yeah, okay. So there's one called display, and then there's one called GFX screen, which is specifically the TFT driver. And then display is basically says, okay, I want you to put this text at this particular location. You figure it out. And then GFX screen does the actual calling the M5 functions. So that architecture worked great. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
It's overkill for an LED, but hey.
I'm just wondering which version of the library are you using?
The library, you mean of the M5 library?
No.
Or the Big ID cast?
No, so wait, I lost my Zoom thingy.
We still see you, so.
Yeah, I know. I'm just trying to. I think it's hidden somewhere. Oh, yeah, I got so many workspaces. It's somewhere. So the library I'm talking about is it's called the, what did I call it? Sensor reporter.
I've got the there's a hang on. There's Big ID connector.
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah. I see. So I think I mentioned this to Rob as well because he added the files of the library to the project, which you don't have to because you can add it to the platform.io, platform.io.ini. And then it installs the library once you, once you build it. No, so you don't have to add it to the source
I'm
file.
looking at
Mhm.
there's a
It picks it up from GitHub.
Yeah, because it's a GitHub.
Mm.
I put it on GitHub. It's on
Yeah.
my GitHub somewhere.
there's a
Although with this you can also edit like a worker or something, add some functions, but maybe might be easier to just do that on the library GitHub. So we have some, I don't know, not many people are using this. I use this for one other project as well, and it's working quite well actually. So
And you're not planning to change it, or the functionality will
um,
still be the same, so that we can still keep using
yeah,
it.
it will always be usable like this, like backwards compatible or thing.
Okay.
Or if I make something completely new, then I'll put it on some different branch and
Okay.
like
Okay. Good.
I don't know. I'm not sure how to do this with libraries. It was kind of my little project to make something like an open source library as an idea, and this is what this is the result.
Yeah, and it works quite nice because even in the we can help people in Ukraine with it. So I think you did it.
Yeah. So we use it for the Bigaigi cast, and if we
Yeah.
can use it on the Bigaigi Zen, that would be
Mhm.
amazing. So the idea is kind of for the Zen because I'm not sure what the plan is, but like we can either use this library and build on top of that, or we don't use it at all. Like
so
I
which
can't recommend.
are
Yeah,
you
so it is the sensor reporter library, which is the aggregator, the worker, the
right?
supervisor, etc. That is the library. So
Okay,
that's now part of the project.
yes.
Um, but it's actually a library. So
Oh, I see. I
that,
didn't realize that. Okay. Uh,
yeah, let me just. Uh, yeah, I
that
kind
can
of
be
want.
posted to the Slack.
Exit. Oh, oh, I got back in Zoom. Okay, that's cool. Wait. Um, to log in again. Sensor reporter. I think there is. Yeah, this is the current. This is the experimental branch that the Beguilecast is running on, as well
Mhm.
as my other project. So I could merge it to master or something. Because the master version is behind and it has some incompatibilities with the experimental branch. But I don't think any device at the moment runs on my master unless it is being used by someone that I don't know. So I don't really want to merge it. So maybe I'll create some versioning branch or something. Maybe Rob knows what to do with this. How do I create something like this in GitHub? Like, do I add versioning branches or like
I
master?
normally would add make a copy and then merge it in.
Yeah,
And
I'm not that familiar with this.
Sorry?
Louis said that he was not familiar with GitHub.
Okay, yeah, well, that's I'm getting a bit off topic anyway. So yeah, this is the library. So it has some files, and this is being imported by Platform.io, as you can see. I okay. Let me see if I can find what I'm looking for.
What are you looking for? Yellow.
Yeah, I don't know. My workspace is a mess at the moment. I'm just trying to find the example of the BGI cast using this library, but I don't
Oh,
think it's that important. Well, so basically what I was saying, this did you get the link to the library? I put it here on Zoom.
In the
Or
chat,
should I put it?
Louis. It's in the chat for the Zoom. Louis, did you see it? Maybe he didn't see it.
I don't know.
I pasted in the channel too. In the Slack channel.
Yes.
So he can see it.
Yeah, that might be easy. Anyway,
You're still
what
there,
I was
Louis?
saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, wait. Yeah, maybe it's better if Louis
Yeah, it's
it.
better if he hears it.
I could tell you all
yeah,
the
okay.
things and then
No, we're recording anyway, so it should be okay.
oh yeah, that's true.
So, oh, there he goes again.
Yeah,
Yeah, we can
we
hear
can
you.
hear
Now.
you. Louis.
Hmm. Voice only.
Mm,
I guess we could.
yes.
I was just thinking maybe I can like share my screen,
Yeah, you can do that too. Maybe that's easier.
but
That's a good idea.
then the problem is like if Louis's the connection is not that stable, like having like video is already.
Oh, we can. I can
Watch,
switch off. If you have the screen sharing, that doesn't take so much.
I guess.
So I will switch off my video too.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then maybe
I'll
Louis
have this.
can receive better, so there's less traffic at least.
Yeah, that might work.
And if you can share the screen, Yella, that's good.
Yeah, yeah. Let's first see if the connection is workable now. So, also I'll just share my screen and show what I got. Just trying to set things up.
I left a message for him. So. Can you share your screen, Yella?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
I will share.
So,
Desktop. 1 second. Okay.
Yeah, that's easy to see.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. There's some things here at the top from Zoom. I don't know how to move that.
If you make
Oh,
it the full screen, then you should be okay.
Yeah, like these Zoom buttons that I can control were in the way of my tabs at the top. All right. So this is what I've seen of the BGI Ike. That all the files here, and I saw some like a bunch of files from the BGI cast, as well as some new files in the other branch. I think Sandport, yeah. Oh, that was not what I wanted to do. Okay. Yeah, so there's like a bunch of files here, but I think I'm not sure how far we are with like the Zen development, as in individual parts. Like we might have like a screen, something that renders the screen already.
Not that I
Or
know of. That would be very, very nice if we have something like that.
well, I think Louis had some splash screen or something like the Safecast logo. So if there's some code that already controls the rendering of something on the screen, then we can use that to.
Oh
like,
yeah, there is. We have basically
Right.
the interface works. I mean, that is what Robin made.
Oh, right. Yeah. So that code we can use as well as.
All right, I think I'm back. So
Okay,
I'm
good.
looking
Oh,
at
that's great. Yeah,
some
I'm currently sharing my screen. I'm not sure if you can see that.
is
You can, or uh, I didn't hear it. So
No, I didn't hear either.
all right. Anyway, so this is my current BGeiger cast. Like I don't use Visual Studio
No,
Code.
but it's similar.
Uh,
Something.
It's very similar, yeah.
Yeah.
I do have some extra functions in here that I can use. For example, like the BGeiger connector, which is the serial connection from the BGeiger cast to the BGeiger. Like I can see where it's used, and then.
Oh, you can see that too in VS Code.
Oh,
Yeah.
really? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it makes like
Oh, it makes it
debugging
much easier.
and
Oh,
stuff
yes.
a lot easier. Yeah.
And
So
if you right click on the VS Code, then it will do that, and you can even select if you want to see all the references, not only one. So where it's being used, yeah, in the whole thing,
like
yeah.
this.
Yeah, like this.
Yeah, exactly.
And you can only
It's
see
very
one
nice.
if you want to, if you go to details. So, but yeah, they're similar.
Yeah. So I have not really looked at the BGeiger Zen code at the moment. Like that we have. I did try to upload it to my what was it? The M5 Stack Core 2. But it didn't work.
Oh,
No.
well, one thing to use, I mean, that's for distribution later. It's called the M5 burner. And if
Oh
you
yeah, right. We're talking about that.
and if you have the burner, the latest code is on there.
Is it like a different software or?
Yeah, it's a software from M5 Stack, and what they do is you can make your own versions of the code, and you can upload the code, and everybody have access directly. You don't have to download the code, the binary files. It's very
Right.
useful. I mean, it works on Windows, Linux, and Mac. So five, what you want? Yeah, the Linux
Do
version.
I
Yeah, that download
download
to
the
number
UI
four.
flow or
Number four.
the,
Oh, hold on a second.
the
No. You're right. You're right. Firmware
yeah,
burning
okay,
tool.
the
Yes.
burning tool, right?
Yeah, the
Okay.
burning tool. I should make a link to that.
How do I?
You're on that one. You click on it, I think.
Doesn't do anything. Classic. No, there's no click interaction. It's okay. I'll check it later. Oh yeah. Okay, it started downloading. There we go. Well,
Yeah, it takes
no,
time. Let it go.
I'll continue that later. It's okay. We can.
Because then if you there's a search option in it, if you type in Zen in the search, and it will automatically find the compiled version, and you just hook up an M5 stack code,
Right.
and you just
That's
press
good.
burn it.
Yeah, that's pretty good. So it's like some kind of like a hub, like some software hub or
Yes,
something.
software hub. Yes,
Okay, cool.
good. That's very good.
Yeah, so I see Lewis made some progress on the Zen port already. Although I see still a lot of like files that could basically be removed from, well, you know, the way I do software development is I remove everything that I don't need at the start. So yeah, basically I start out clean if I can, and then I just take code from parts. For example, if we do build for the M5 stack, and well, I would make some kind of supervisor for the screen, for example, and take code from wherever code is that drives the screen, like renders the screen,
Mhm.
some functions, etc. I'm not sure if we want to make some designs, as in like class diagrams.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
I think that's wonderful, the documentation you made on the Big cast. If you have time to do that, that would be great. I tried to do a little bit with DocuGen, DocuXJGen,
Doxygen. Yeah.
but
We can. I think Doxygen you can auto-generate as well with like yeah for
yeah,
Doxygen.
that's what they
Right,
did, auto generate. But it's not like an overview like you made. A very simple overview how things are connected to each
right.
other.
Big cast. I think I had some. Oh right. This one. I think there were some other software designs.
Yeah. Yes. There's that this kind of
Yeah.
UML diagram.
These kind of diagrams we can make again. Although these are outdated because since I updated to use the sensor reporter library that I made, it's with which files were it again? Yeah, like the worker,
Yeah.
supervisor, and
It's
handlers.
not there. Yeah.
I do have some designs for this library if we want to see how it works. They are in Dutch at the moment because I used them for my final, like my graduation project. So I do have some designs for that and some descriptions on what it does. I should actually put it on GitHub here as well because
Yeah, that's easier if you could do that.
this this is just I got from my library to try something very useful.
Yes.
Amazing documentation. Absolutely horrendous. But yeah, there are some things in here. So you could basically render Doxygen things, but just for a library, Doxygen is not that useful.
No, I thought so too. Yeah.
So let's see. Yeah, I could make some designs or some ideas we can use for the Zen.
Yeah.
If we want to use this sensor reporter library, we could also say we will not use it and we will just like create the BigXen in a similar way that the Nano was developed, for example.
No,
Like
no. I like
Ah,
to get away from that because I think your approach
okay.
is much better and much more extendable.
Yeah, because it's more modular and,
Yeah.
and it's easier
Yeah, I
to
prefer that.
like work separately. Like you can say, oh, you work on like the screen and then you only work on one file and you don't mess up a button
Yes.
by accident or something. So that's also the reason why I created this library. I remember that the first day I was at Safecast, I was just going through the code and I was already making designs on how I would make it. And that's what I did in the Big Eye cast, basically. So
Oh yeah, it's a much better approach. Probably Robin agreed also on that because he knows the code. I think one of the best ones because he started it out. So
yes, there's only one thing that I'm not sure of if we want to use, which is the state machine.
ooh, I like the concept of state machines.
Yeah, so the Big Eye cast uses a state machine for the main
The main loop.
the main context.
Mhm.
Well, it's basically it is very simple states. I think there is some manual. Yeah, it's basically these states. So
Yeah.
it's either initializing. So what BigGeigerCast does in the initialize is it waits for the first uh, like data string because it has to know the BigGeiger Nano ID to continue, as well as to know that it's connected. So it can take up to 10 seconds because when you start up the BigGeiger Nano, it will take 10 seconds to to get the first reading.
Mhm.
Then
Is that
it's
because
initialized.
it's waiting? Is that because it's waiting for the GPS to settle down?
No, it's
Uh,
waiting because you get like the startup screen if you start up the Nano.
Oh, right. Yes.
Yeah. So
yeah,
that's why
in the standard version. In my version, not.
yeah, Rob, I kind of would like to have your version because my screen got like burned in or something. I always see like some CPM
Yes. After
thing.
after a year, they start to burn in the screens. That's why I made a version that automatically dims with a sensor on it.
Do you also have a version where you like disable the LED on the SD card reader or writer?
No, no, not yet. That's the open lock. Yeah, that's a good one too.
It's very bright. I put a piece of paper on it. Anyway, so about these these states. Yeah, these states you can still see in the state machine.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, the state machine is separated in multiple files as well. Could probably put it in the library somewhere.
Mhm.
Should have picked this one.
So yeah, that part's easy to follow. It's the on entry, on exit, or do action
Right,
or
right.
whatever.
Mhm.
Yeah,
So
that's just out of the box state machine logic. Like this, that's how it is. So we could also use that in the Zen. Like we can or we can like it's
oh
up to
yeah,
you.
yeah,
Um,
that's my plan, is to actually use it and just strictly replace, well, three major components. One is the LED with the graphics screen, the button
right,
with
right.
multiple buttons, and then of course the BGIG Connect with the parts that actually read the CPM and GPS, that which
Right,
already
yeah.
exists in the Zen, the work in progress on Zen, in that display, um, the display file, display.h, display.cpp.
Hmm.
It's all there, calling the hardware functions directly. So um, I'm all for, as I say, I'm all for continuing with porting the Safecast architecture to the M5 core. But the concern right now is do we want to get anything going on the? I'm looking at those alpha prototypes that Rob was showing.
Hmm.
Um, do we want to have something quick and dirty that works? But like for instance, um, with the the core or core two. No,
Um,
sorry, sorry, just talking to somebody off so the okay, sorry, I lost my train of thought. Basically, something right now the dimming wouldn't work because the core. Basically, I did use. Okay, let me reconnect my thoughts here. When I did the uh, moving it to the core two, I did not use if defs or anything like that. So I would have to basically scrub through the intermediate version and then put in if defs for the old M5 or the first generation core as well as the core two. But that would work. The dimming might not work because it's a different power supply management chip. Um, it works great on the core two, but I'd have to go back and see what's going on with uh, the power management chip on the original core, right, the first generation core. But something could be done in on short notice to get those alpha versions, out there.
yeah.
If
Yeah,
you know,
it would be nice if it's there, but it's not necessary. I prefer to have
okay,
the code correct. Now we have something that works on it, like the Big IQ Nano. So it's basically for alpha, it's fine.
Okay.
And we can easily distribute new versions. I mean, if we come up something the next day, people can put it directly in, and we don't have to send files around. So.
Okay. Okay. So, all right. So, as far as I'm concerned, we should just keep on going on that SafeCast port, the big ID cast port to the Zen.
Can I
but then,
interrupt for a moment? We
yeah,
probably
please,
gonna
please
stop
interrupt.
it. We're gonna stop in 40 seconds.
Oh, I see.
Shall I restart the recording afterwards? So close it and
Okay.
then come back. So we do that
Okay.
now?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
go ahead, please.
All right.
I'm just going to quickly run downstairs because that's where my charger is.
Okay.